Hi, I'm CJ and this is my RC channel. In this series of videos I am going to be doing the final assembly, tuning, and driving of the RMX 2.0 RTR. Stands for ready to run if you didn't know. This is a full-on drift car. It's not some super expensive race drift car. It's basically entry level, but when they say ready to run, they mean it. It's fully built with the exception of the body being painted. Comes with a clear body. When finished, it will look something like that, but different colors. Numerous high-performance parts, upgrades, and whatnot. It even has a gyro, and it's built and tested at their shop, supposedly. And from what I've heard, they do a very good job of setting these cars up and testing them before they put them in the box and ship them out. So this should be a lot of fun. There's actually a little drift track at a local hobby store close to me, and they're not doing anything competitive, but they just go up and have a lot of fun with 1/10 scale drift cars. So that's one of the reasons I picked this up. I thought I'd have some fun with it. I am not a drift expert. I've been in RC for decades, but the drift scene is just not something I've gotten into, but I'm going to give it a try and see what it's like, and I'll tell you all about the experience, and maybe it's something you'll want to get into too. This might be just the car to get you started. It comes with, literally, it's ready to run. Radio, motor, servo, all the goodies, and as I said, from what I understand, they set these up and test them at a track at their factory before they put them in the box and ship them. So that's really something different. You usually don't see that from a manufacturer of ready-to-run cars. So I will go over all the boilerplate on the box, which shows all the various hardware and all the different features that come on this, and then I will unbox and set up and paint a body and take it up to the track and show you. Well, I hope you enjoy this series of videos. Thanks for watching. Sorry I've been out of the loop for a little while. I needed some time off. Long story, not going to go into it. Okay, great front steering angle. In other words, this can turn incredibly sharply, which is necessary for drifting, and thus you have very narrow control arms. You don't have the wider A arms that you would have on a normal car. It has a new designed front steering suspension system, standard realistic caliper and disc, so it looks like there's actual brakes back there behind the wheels. It's a plastic frame. That's okay. Again, you know, entry level. 2 install methods of the motor, upper or lower, for lower center of gravity. Steel CVD, constant velocity joints, axle, rear transmission system. Let's see. Basically the same things they have over here listed over here. It comes with a 3-channel 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, a brushless motor, 2500 kV, XBL50 brushless electronic speed control. It has a servo that is branded for them, but it's made by Savox, which is a good brand. Supposedly it's a fairly high-speed servo, and it comes with an MGX gyro. And here's a little thing that says this car was practice-driven test by the factory. Not very good grammar, but it gets the point across. It is normal of the slight using mark on tires. In other words, when you open the box and pull out your brand new car, the tires may be scuffed up a little bit because it was tested and tuned at the factory, which is a good thing. You don't usually see that. And again, this is entry level. So I shouldn't have to do very much besides paint the body. Oh yeah, I did get one upgrade for this. It didn't come in the box. I slipped it into the box so I wouldn't misplace it. This is a set of ball bearings because this is just bushings. And bearings is just something I think is essential. I didn't get any kind of fancy bearings. I think it was about $18 for this kit from Fast Eddie's. But it is specific to this car. So I should have everything from wheels, transmission, steering knuckles, etc. So I will be doing some disassembly and reassembly. And here we have instructions and lots of stickers. And more stickers. I figured one mod and a cheap one at that might as well. That'll just make everything run tighter, smoother, faster, better, last longer. So this looks like some marketing information and some setup information. Lists all kinds of parts that can be swapped out and various replacement parts, various differential gears, so there's lots of gear ratios to be had. Some of these drift cars are incredibly expensive. I've seen some drift cars that were in the realm of $1,400, far more expensive than most on-road and off-road race cars, buggies, and trucks. And I don't know why they're that much, but such as it is. So I might as well pull this out. They even gave us the sheet that would fold up and clinch this bag if this was being sold on the shelf. So we know what the body numbers are if we want to replace this body with the same one at some point if it gets torn up. So nice Lexan body. Gonna get working on that directly to paint that up. In fact, I may do a paint video for you guys. I haven't done any of those. I've got several bodies I need to paint for several kits that are in the works, so maybe I will do that. Here we have, it's interesting, it's a nose piece. Do we have to swap this out at some point? I don't know. Guess we'll find out when we get to that in the directions. Here is our radio. It's taped down. There we go. Decent radio. We've got trims, easy to reach. Button there, power, third channel's over here, function button. Seems to be a decent size for my hand and my fingers. I might want to wrap this in some grip tape or something, make it a little easier to hold. Decent spring. And as you can see, the wheels have been used a little bit. That was to be expected. What that's for, just scrap of paper. And here is our car. And I think the plastic frame is going to do okay. I mean, I can't flex it a lot, and this is going to be run on smooth, you know, asphalt-like track. or concrete. We've got mode, an adjustment pot, and then a little LED that's going to tell us what's going on. Looks like a nice build was done. We got Dean's connector for the battery. Wow, they got a lot of toe out on this, but I'm going to take their word for that. That's how it should be. That's since I am new to the drift scene. So no, you cannot adjust the rear or front suspension as far as the angles. These little plastic pieces here are fixed, but you do have different bushing sizes, so you could change the wheelbase slightly. Likewise, same in the front, and it's got a 2.0, that would be degrees for that front block. Motor's all in here. 48 pitch for those of you who are curious, and it is an 80 tooth spur, and our pinion is 22 tooth. So there's our starting gear ratio. On-off switch is over here. We have a little receiver right here, so we have a separate receiver. That would give us the option if you wanted to use your own radio, which I probably will. Well, I definitely will. I just won't do it immediately. I will be showing you how this works with the existing radio that comes with it. But it's not like a combination ESC receiver like you get with some cheap kits. And then you can't change anything around without replacing both items. So all I need to do is remove this stock receiver, plug in one of my receivers that go to either my Airtronics or my Noble. Probably do the Noble, and because that's the most adjustable, and go from there. We'll see, whether I continue to get into drift. And they even gave us separate connectors so we can switch out our motor if we want to. That'll also make it easy if we need to relocate. We want to relocate the motor. I'm going to probably leave it here. They keep it in the low position. It looks like they have bearings in the transmission. So I will probably not crack the transmission or gearbox anytime soon and swap the bearings there. I will put the bearings in the wheels, and I will check the steering knuckles and see if those have the bearings in them. If they don't, I will put the bearings in there, and I'll leave everything else to rest. The shocks look like they've been adjusted. So we've got our ride height preset. Like they say, this is already set up. So they did not give us a battery, and it looks like it's set up for standard size batteries. Did they give us any options? No. There might be a way to run a shorty pack if that's what you have. I think it would just be a matter of swapping out this arm here and this arm here with something else, which they don't have. They may offer. I'll look in the options for that. So the thing I really need to do is body. So the first thing to do as far as that goes, I need to put the wheels on and hang the body so I know where my body post holes are going to be. Do they mark them for us? Yeah, actually they do. Well, they've got 2 here, and 4 on the hood. So I at least need to hang it with the wheels on to see if that's what I'm going to do. And again, I'm not sure why it looks like they've given us a new nose, 2 new nose pieces. It may be a matter of style. We've got side view mirrors and a little air dam or whale tail for the rear. You see, this looks like, you know, headlights here and headlights here, but that looks like a different hood from this type. Maybe these are to go behind here and mount light bulbs? No, that doesn't look like that works either. Oh well, read the instructions, and if all else fails, let me put the wheels on. It does look nice with the brakes back there. Okay, so it's the ones that are closest together are my body post holes. Everything looks like it lines up well for that, so good to go, nice and easy. So I need to prep this and first wash it really good, scuff it up a little bit, tape it, paint it, figure out body style I want, that kind of thing. And I put this stuff back in its bag. Okay, I'm going to pause up and review some of this paperwork and get an idea of some of these items that I may need to do and what I need to do with them. Let me just look at this for a second, show you what they gave us here. Lots of stickers. That is this looks like it's going to be a little device for, it looks like a miniature plastic screwdriver, probably for adjusting our gyro. We have an antenna housing or tube. We've got some more body posts. And we have another steering arm for the servo. That's kind of interesting that they would give us an extra. A couple of small wrenches. Looks like a wrench for our turnbuckles. A couple of Allen wrenches. And a little aluminum nut driver. So if you don't have any tools at all, you can do basic assembly. I'm not sure what these little red items are for, but we'll find out as we go. So they give us some paperwork on the radio and all of its settings. We'll go over that in detail. Give us information on our motor. Give us workup on the gyro. And that's all in Japanese. Then there's an English side for us. So this tells us everything we need to know about our gyro, the various blinking lights that we'll get out of that LED and what they mean, their codes. Likewise, we have our receiver and the order in which things get plugged in. Because the gyro plugs in between the servo and the receiver. And let's see. And this is our speed control information, how to program it, which we will certainly need to do. They probably did it already, but we should definitely check. And parts codes on the back, so this must be our manual. And they give us information on Pasting some sponge material to pad our battery, keep it from sliding around. Looks like it just use a standard pack, pull a couple pins, slide it in. It's easy in, easy out. That's interesting the way they're going to have us use those, but that's fine. I'll do it all their way. And we have exploded view of our transmission, which does have bearings. And it looks like they have bearings in the wheels. I remember reading somewhere that this had bushings. So I'm going to check out the wheels and see if there are bearings in there and in our steering rack. And if there are, I'll just set that pack aside, see if I can sell it or return it. Yeah, it says bearings, so that's great. But a little bonus that they threw those in. And we've got a blank setup sheet, or actually it's not blank, it's got recommended settings on it. There's probably a blank setting sheet for us to download. Tire compound chart right here. Gear ratios recommended. Our shock adjustments, how they set things up, the color springs, which piston, how many holes in the piston, the shock oil they used, the distance and stroke. Very thorough. This is great. They give us our final gear ratio and everything in between, our front shock absorber and all the measurements they used for that, the front end geometry and what adjustments or setups they did there, toe in, the camber setting that they set this to, the ride height, front and rear ride height. Very nice that they give you all that information, that they did the setup, and off you go. The motor low for lower center of gravity. Great. Again, this is all option parts. But let's take a look and be sure. Some of it is information about this car. And yes, we can use shorty packs. Great. They, I think there's a hole here. Or do we have to drill holes? That's interesting. Let me look on the bottom here. Yeah, we would need to move something. There's a hole here, which is partly covered by the ESC. And the hole over here is covered by the receiver. So we would need to pull the receiver up and move it forward a 1/4 inch. But you can see there's 2 holes here and here. That's these 2 here and here. We would just remove these 2 screws and move these 2 brackets inboard. But that would be a pain because the ESC, there's no room for the ESC to move forward because of the size of the servo, and there's no ability to move the servo. So we're stuck with standard size battery packs. That's fine. I can live with that. It would have been nice to use shorties because I have more of them, but no worries. Let's see. Oh, maybe there is a different way to install the servo. 2 installation ways for the servo. The car gravity distributed is adjusted by changing the servo position. So that might allow room to move the ESC around. I think I'm just going to run it as is for the time being. Get to know the car and wrap my head around drifting. I certainly know how to slide an RC car, but drifting is a little more intense. Yeah, you see they show the setup here without the servo. The servo would be turned in line, but where do you put the ESC at that point? I don't know. Not to mention the receiver. Okay, never mind. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, there's all of our windows and other details like grills and window trim. These are going to be our masks for the clear window portions and some other small stickers. And here is our instructions. It's interesting that they say make the 5.5 millimeter holes in all 4 locations. You don't want to do that. You want to choose based on the way the bodies are set up. I mean, the way the body posts are set up on the car. And they give us the masks for the rear lights and the front headlights, as well as the windows. And they show us where we position all of our stickers. And I was right about those extra pieces here being for headlights and tail lights. It's not a hood, and it doesn't use the whole thing. It's you cut out a bucket and then glue it to the inside. That way you can mount some LEDs if you have an LED kit, which I will order. And then you mount the spoiler. They even show you the areas to do in black, or I think I'll do those in gunmetal. That looks a little closer to carbon fiber. And then our mirrors. Okay, very nice. It's a very complete set of stickers and instructions and parts. So I'll need the masks first. Okay, that's the basics of everything. So I'm going to get started on paint, and then we'll start doing final setup.